Hey everyone, Cleet is excited to tell you about something he just did, and he thinks he's the manliest man in the world. What happened, Cleet?
I grew some hairs on my chest. So we got a beer, which is peaches and cream. Not a very manly beer, but maybe some might say it's manly. Anyways, I have a pen that has been made out of an old bullet casing, and I use that as a bottle opener.
I opened it with my bare hands.
Yeah, he's bleeding actually. He just broke the neck of the bottle.
But you know what? It
like
works.
Britain, there's like glass in there, and he just drank it.
Yeah. You know, that's how you get more hair on your chest. You open it with a bullet, I just broke the tip off.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like a one-up thing. You know what I'm going to do next time?
Britain, a classic one-upper.
I'm just going to eat the whole bottle after I'm done.
Jesus Christ.
Just the whole bottle. Chew the glass and just, eat some.
You're like at a restaurant, and they're like, hey, are you done with that? No, I don't need to take it to go, and just take a bite out of the bottle.
It's like things, you can't do that. I just did.
Shut up.
There's no laws against eating glass. This is my appetizer, thanks. So, Cleet, I have a question for you. So, you know the 7 deadly sins, right?
Yeah.
Can you name them all? It's not the question. It's one of the questions, but...
Jealousy, gluttony, something... I don't know.
No, you don't know anything.
Remember that movie, though, with the 7 deadly sins? With
It's called 7.
Yeah, with the creepy actor guy. What's his name? Kevin Spacey?
What's in the box?
Yeah, that guy's not a good man.
No, he's not. But you have lust, gluttony, greed.
What's wrong with greed?
Sloth, wrath, envy, and pride. So my question, Cleet...
I like to say wrath is pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right. Uncontrolled feelings of anger, rage, and even hatred. That's fun for you.
Oh.
So my question to you, Cleet, is like, if you were any of these 7 deadly sins, like, what would you say that you are?
Probably greed.
Yeah.
I like to hoard my money.
Yeah, among other things.
It's called financial literacy, Britain. It's not greed.
Okay, Cleet, whatever you say, wink, wink. So you're going greed?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, I'm torn between greed and pride. I'm very prideful, which they've said is like the worst one. Like it's the most sinful one. But I also am very greedy. I like to have my things and money and stuff. So I'm kind of torn between the two. So I was just curious of which one you thought you would be. But I knew you would say greed without a shadow of doubt. I knew you'd be greed. But what are you talking about today, Cletus, from the South?
From the south to your mouth. Cletus here. Your old pal Cletus.
Not the Tic Tac again.
What was that supposed to mean?
From the south to your mouth.
So I will be talking about a collection of stories I found online about aliens.
Oh, good old aliens.
Yeah, good old UFOs, man. They're spooky little things.
I think that every single unexplainable event, and even some explainable events, are caused by aliens.
Well,
they're out there.
Best horror movies are alien
aliens.
movies. They scare the hell out of me. What was it? Dark Skies? Yeah, Signs was dumb.
Dark Skies was stupid.
Dark Skies was good. Mm-mm. That Alaskan one was good.
Yeah, that one was okay.
I can't remember what it's called.
God damn it. I don't remember, but I know which one you're talking about. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then...
there was a white owl out my door, and they're evil aliens.
evil aliens. Well, I was curious because we're finishing our basement. We're actually getting in the process of starting our basement. And the previous owner had just left all of his shit down there. Like, he had a back brace. He was an older guy who used the house as a rental property. But just the most random shit that he left in the basement. So I was like, I wonder the craziest shit that people have found in their basements. And so I looked, and I'm going to talk about the creepiest things ever found in people's basements.
Yeah, I will say one thing, though, just to comment on that. I remember I was watching a blog online about that, and there was like this person doing a prank before he sold his house. He was like installing new carpet, and he put this giant blood stain like leading to the vents under the carpet, and it just said, "Help me."
Nice.
So if they ever replace the carpet, it's like 5 years from now, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck?" Because I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go throw skeletons in my dungeon.
You should.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched a video on Facebook of someone redoing their kitchen.
Fake skeletons, by the way.
Yeah, sure. Uh-huh. Wink, wink. You live close to a morgue. I'm sure
you didn't even question that, man. You're like, yeah, skeletons?
Yeah. Well, it's you.
Typical Clee.
I'm like helping you. Like, this thing feels pretty real. Yeah, it's like the lifelike one. Just put it away. Just hide it over there. But this one guy on Facebook was like putting it in, like he was doing his kitchen. He put it in the corner and built the cupboard over it. So it's like whoever destroys this kitchen next is going to find this body in here. I think it's a good idea. Get that 12-foot skeleton. This guy was really tall.
I wouldn't say I'd be a natural thief, but I would be tempted to steal that just because of how hard it would be and how cool it is.
And how little stock they had. It's like I'm going to hop into someone's backyard and just take it. You're running through the neighborhood with a 12-foot skeleton. It wasn't me!
Wasn't me.
Okay, so I guess, how many stories do you have?
They even caught me on camera. Stealing the skeleton. I think I have 5. All right, so let's jump into the first alien story. So, this happened to me when I was 10 years old in Calgary, Alberta.
This happened to you in Calgary? When were you in Calgary?
Reading the story.
In 1970. I knew you were old, but not that old.
Yeah, I've been living a double life.
Shit.
Yeah.
Aliens.
I was a housewife. I'm just kidding.
My husband, Robert.
I was walking home from school, cutting across the school sports field. Our house wasn't far. We lived across the street from the school. It's a nice setup.
Yeah.
There wasn't any other kids around, since I stayed late for volleyball practice, and the rest of the students had gone home 45 minutes earlier when the school let out that day. It was around 4:30 in the afternoon.
I was one of those kids that the second that school bell rang, I was already halfway home. I was like, get me the fuck out of here.
Did you? I used to run home. I was like, that was in elementary school. That was my thing.
Right.
Yeah.
We used to ride bikes all the time, so we'd ride our bikes, and I only lived a couple blocks from the school, but good times.
All of a sudden, something caught my attention from the corner of my eye, and I stopped and turned to look to the right to look at it. Floating directly above a house facing the schoolyard was a large UFO. I was in the middle of the football field, so this is about 60, 70 yards distant from where I stood. The UFO is big and almost touching the roof of the house. It is completely centered on the house, but it is so big it also is above the house on the left and the right.
Wow.
So
it's like shadowing the whole house.
Yeah. I want to know, like, if you're the house owner, dude, I would be running. I'd be like, Independence Day.
Where's Will Smith?
You see Will Smith. I got to go. The lots were around 50 feet wide, which puts the UFO at about 150 feet across and perhaps 25 to 30 feet tall. So this thing's like a freaking floating city.
Right.
It is very bright, giving off a harsh white light, which is difficult to look at since it hurts my eyes.
It's like staring right into an LED. Don't do it.
Oof. I look away back towards my house and see a car and a motorcycle on the side street, which intersects the street with the UFO. The street is about half a block away, and I remember being surprised and confused that the drivers are not reacting to the UFO, which clearly must be visible to them and so obvious since it's so bright, but the traffic continues as normal.
Yeah, you're not going to miss something that big floating above this house.
It must be somehow
cuckoo.
camouflaging itself to everybody but her.
Yeah, probably.
Or him. At that point, I became aware that something is forcing me to turn my head back toward the UFO. That's kind of creepy.
Mm-hmm.
It's
like, no.
Reminds me of those horror movies when they're turning around to look at something. You're like, don't look, fuck, don't look.
Takes them like 30 seconds to get all the way around.
You just hear like the violin. Nope. I'm turning and my field of view is changing, but I'm not the one doing it. I struggle to turn away, but I simply cannot control any of my body. I remember a feeling of panic. Then the next thing that I remember, I'm walking into my house. It is around 9:30 at night and dark outside. I can't recall anything of the last 5 hours. My parents were furious with me for being so late.
There's always time loss. Every single fucking alien encounter, there's time loss. There's like hours that are missing.
Yeah, my friend drank a quart of LSD and woke up 2 years later in a boxcar heading to Tennessee.
Jesus Christ.
I'm kidding. That'd be a hell of a story.
Yeah,
I lost 2 years of my life.
Elaborate, please.
I had a banjo in my hand and a hobo knife.
How did I end up here?
Apparently my parents and my two brothers had been trying to find me for hours. A voice or thought in my head tells me to tell them that I'm not feeling well and I need to go to bed.
Tell them that you're sick.
Isn't that kind of weird though? Because that's like not how thoughts work. It's just like, think of an excuse. But if you hear a voice in your head, it says, tell them this. You're like, oh.
Do you tell them that? Do you listen?
And I'd be like, who are you?
Excuse me?
Do you think it or say it?
Parents like, what are you doing? What?
Who are you?
What the fuck? Get out
I'm
of my
your
head.
parents, you psycho.
Get out of my head!
I have no idea where that thought or voice came from, but I do exactly as it suggests and run upstairs to my room and go to bed. The next day, I still can't seem to explain what happened, and my mother is even more angry with me since my new school shoes are ruined, since the tops of them are all scuffed and dirty, like I was dragged face down across the ground with my feet still dragging on the ground. See, that's creepy.
Yeah.
If that really happened to me, I'd be terrified to go back to school.
Yep. It's like, Mom, school's a bad place.
I'd be like, yeah, let's do the buddy system. That way you can like push your friend down and escape.
It's like, stop it!
Take my buddy. It's the buddy system, and then run.
You just got to be quicker than that person.
That was the buddy system, right? Isn't that how it worked?
I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Sounds about right.
Take him.
You always want a buddy system so you can shove the other one into harm's way. Like a body shield.
Yeah, I'm not a monster.
No, that's what they taught us.
You know, I like to say I miss Timmy. Timmy took the fall for me.
Yeah.
I told my older brothers what happened, and they suggested I keep quiet about it since nobody would believe me. Good advice, as it turns out, since in the many years since, most of the people I have shared the story with don't really know what to say afterward.
I mean, what do you say to that?
You just like randomly bring it up. You're just like sitting there, you're making dinner with somebody, you're like, hey, when I was in high school, UFOs, they got me.
They got me. They're just talking about, like, you're just playing Jenga or something.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about, oh, God, do you remember your high school friends? Yeah. I was abducted and probed in high school.
By aliens in the football field.
They told me what to tell my mom.
When they dropped me off, they said touchdown.
So stupid. Touchdown. Spiked me onto the ground. They shot me through the goalposts.
Many years later, I was looking at my old school workbook from that time, and they are full of drawings of UFOs, all of them the same design, and with more detail than I can recall from memory. For example, in my memory, I can't remember seeing any windows in the UFO, since the light was too bright to make out the details. But in my drawing, there were large round windows all around the UFO, some with faces looking out.
Damn.
Creepy.
Well, do you believe that story?
You know, I was thinking about it because it's like, were they drawing those pictures before or after? And if it was before, are they just obsessed with UFOs and somehow that just happened to them?
That was my question.
I never know. Yeah.
He's like the awkward kid in school that's just sitting there drawing during the lesson and all the movies, and all of a sudden it's like, I was kidnapped. It's like, yeah, look at their notebook, dude. You're full of UFOs.
It's like that kid that draws all the UFOs. I was playing Jenga with him during lunch, and he told me that he got abducted by UFOs. I didn't know what to say.
I had no idea. I just fist bumped him and walked on. All right. Well,
I yelled touchdown. He looked emotionally scarred.
Stupid. Fucking touchdowns. All right. Well, that's a pretty good one. So let's talk about some creepy-ass basement findings, shall we?
Sure.
So this one, mummified infant remains in a Peter Pan obsession.
So hang on here. I want to just get the premise. I'm going to clear my throat. So you're saying, this is creepy things found in basements?
Correct.
So most kids are afraid of basements. So imagine as a kid, you're trying to get over your fear and you go into the basement and you find these things.
Nah, no thanks. I always hated the basement.
That's
but
terrifying.
But then, like, when you grow up, like I think we talked about before, it's like a rite of passage to live in the basement.
Yeah.
I love the basements now. Like, turning it into a big old man cave, game room type thing. So in 2010, a woman would make a discovery inside of a trunk tucked away in her Los Angeles, California apartment. It would be Los Angeles. Wrapped in LA Times newspapers from the 30s were two mummified remains of newborn infants sealed together with various Peter Pan paraphernalia.
Huh.
Oh
That's
my
sad.
God. Like, well, what's your first thought when you uncovered what you would assume is real infant remains and then Peter Pan shit all over the place?
Well, I'd call the cops, but then I would think of a Neverland joke.
Oh my God. The remains included a copy of the book by J.M. Barrie and a membership card to the Peter Pan Woodland Club. I don't know enough about Peter Pan to even know what the hell that is, but there's a freaking club. Guess those kids will never get to go again. Weirdly enough, the previous owner of the trunk was Janet M. Barrie, or J.M. Barrie, who had the same name as the famous author. What the hell? I don't even know. While some theorized the woman might have been a distant relative of the writer, it was revealed there was no familial relation. DNA tests showed the infants were indeed the child of Janet, but it's impossible to know that they were legitimate children who had died shortly after birth. While the identity of the children and other information about the owner were unearthed, the circumstances that led Janet to stow her deceased children forever are a mystery.
All right, let's look at this on the optimistic side.
Okay.
Let's say she had some kids. They died soon, and so she wanted to put them in Peter Pan costumes because they assumed they lived as kids happily in the afterlife.
Okay. We can go with that one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than just thinking that she buried kids with Peter Pan stuff. A little less creepy, if you ask me. So this one talks about a secret roommate. A roommate you didn't know you had.
Oh, neat.
We've had stories like that, like when the one we talked about where the bum was living in that lady's attic and kept eating her food. Like, what the fuck is that all about?
At night, I'd hear like someone eating. They get pissed off like the quality of food wasn't good enough.
It's like, not again!
Beggars can be choosers, I swear to God.
Where's the salt?
I'm going to reveal myself tomorrow.
Like, Jesus Christ. I think it would be fun to, like stay overnight in, like, a Walmart or a Best Buy or something without getting caught. I think that'd be a blast.
Check out stealth camping videos on YouTube. They're fun.
Stealth camping? Is that what that's called?
They camp in illegal areas. It's so cool.
I want to do that just once.
I do too, actually.
But, the thing is Walmarts don't close, so it's kind of easy to do. You just never leave, and they stay open, and you're good.
Yeah, they're cracking down on it a little bit more now.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is. Is it illegal if you don't take anything? If you just stay inside a Walmart overnight?
Depends on if they have a sign up or not. They'll have signs saying, like, do not park overnight, or we'll tell you.
I'm talking, like, in the store.
Oh.
You stay in the store while it closes.
That's like a kid's dream.
Not like on the premises.
I'm going to go run away from my home and live at Sam's Club. I'm going to grab samples and then climb to the roof and disappear.
Right. Well, I mean, I was asking this because we watched a movie last night. It's one of my wife's favorite movies called Where the Heart Is, and it's about this girl who has to stay in a Walmart because her boyfriend dumps her in the parking lot. She has no money. But I just thought, like, realistically, how would that be? Like, that would be so cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't like the bathroom part.
No. Or the showering, like, you shower in the sink.
What if you just came into a Walmart and someone just, like, showering with the water?
You're like, hey.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it would be kind of funny. But anyway, back to the secret roommate. So this is an Ohio State University. Students had made a startling discovery in September 2013 when they found a locker in the basement of the house that led to a secret room complete and full of textbooks and photographs on the wall.
Photographs of the other tenants?
I don't know.
When they were sleeping?
It's like them, when they're sleeping. It's like, what the God?
There's a knife in the person's hand.
That's me taking a leak. It's like footage from the bathroom. Gross.
I thought there was a lightning storm.
Oh, God. The room was apparently inhabited by Jeremy, who was a complete stranger to the other residents of the house. The matter was resolved peacefully, and Jeremy simply left and vacated his sweet secret room, but the tenants still have no idea how many keys to their home are floating around town.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, hey, free living spaces, why not? Just taking pictures of everyone that passes by. Everyone's like, who the fuck are you? I'm Jeremy.
I'm Jeremy.
You know me, we're Jeremy.
He's just sitting on your porch with a 30-pack. I'm Jeremy. Like,
we
why are you always here, man? Can I have a beer? It's BYOB.
Yeah. It's like we go to school together, man. I'm here. I'm Campus Jeremy. You know me. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of cool. Oh, wow. 2 fetuses in jars. What's up with the fucking babies and fetuses? Workers who had been tasked with renovating an old building in Hannibal, Missouri, uncovered 2 fetuses that were preserved in jars of formaldehyde in the basement. The discovery bolstered rumors that the property once housed an illegal abortion clinic sometime in the early 1900s. All right, one more, and then we'll jump back into another alien story.
Aliens. 3
kidnapped women. Yeah, what would you like? You buy a house and you find a dungeon that there's actual people that have been kidnapped.
They're alive.
Well, we're about to find out. So this story would be all over headlines in May 2013. Ariel Castro, a Cleveland, Ohio man, was arrested following the revelation that he had been keeping 3 women imprisoned as sex slaves for over a decade. Amanda Berry, Gina DeJesus, and Michelle Knight had all been kidnapped by Castro anywhere between 2000 and 2004 and were between 14 and 20 years old at the time of their kidnappings. They had been discovered once the Castro's neighbors heard Berry crying for help from within their underground prison.
Wow.
Yeah, that's nuts, man. Castro was sentenced to life in prison, and 1 month later, during September 2013, he was found hanging by his bedsheets in his cell, an apparent suicide. He was mourned by few.
Yeah, apparently he couldn't take it as the prisoner because he was imprisoning others. It's not a joke.
Oh, okay. I was like, where you go? Okay, good, okay.
Because he was the prisonee.
The prisonee!
All right. Back to the aliens.
Aliens.
When I was in the 6th grade, I woke up one day with 4 very small holes on my upper right thigh.
Ow.
It looked like the skin had been cut out in perfect tiny circles, yet there was no blood. The circles were in a straight line and across my thigh horizontally, no more than 6 inches wide completely. I also felt very tired and couldn't remember what I had dreamt, which is weird to me since I pretty much remember every dream I have every night. You know what irritates me?
A lot of things, but what this time?
People are like, I just don't dream. I don't remember a single dream. I don't like every time someone
Like,
has
yes,
to
you
say
did.
that. Like, have you been told that by someone? And they're
Yeah.
just like floating and out there how impressive it is that they
I don't
remember
dream.
their dreams.
I don't have any
just don't
dreams.
do it. I'm so
I sleep.
special and different.
I sleep perfectly. Undreamed.
Anyways, I put Band-Aids on them and went to school as usual. The next morning, I wake up and there are 3 new holes right above the previous 4. I know, right? What's going on here?
What are they doing with this thigh meat?
Yeah, it's going to end up being a picture of a penis.
Connect the dots.
I woke up once again very tired and drowsy and was now weirded out at how symmetrical everything was that I showed my mom, who said it was most likely an ant or spider bites.
I mean, they're like perfectly in a row, though.
Yeah.
It's like following a pattern, like bite, bite, bite.
Those weird ants.
Pretty soon they're going to get to your junk.
Planet of the ants.
You might want to figure it out before they get there.
The junk. Next morning, 2 more holes showed above the previous 3, and the morning after that, 1. This is when I was seriously scared since the holes now formed a triangle that pointed to my knee and they weren't scabbing over.
Oh, no.
I was so tired and confused and was scared to go to bed, so I stayed up really late but woke up the next morning not even knowing when I had fallen asleep. When I did wake up, I was suddenly very alert, and when I threw my blanket off my legs, I found all the holes completely gone. No scabbing or scarring or any trace of the circles on my thigh. I showed my mom, and she just brushed it off and made another margarita. I'm kidding. I added that in.
You had me going. I was like, holy shit.
She doesn't care.
She flipped the blender on angrily.
She's like, shut! I need my margarita.
Shut up. I don't care about your leg holes. Mama's got to get drunk.
So she brushed it off as they had healed like any other cut. I'm honestly not sure if this is related, but I do feel like there is a correlation. After this, I couldn't really comprehend math anymore. I had excelled at math.
I forgot all about math after this. I could count the dots, but then
the circles
nothing.
made me dumb. Maybe this is just like a really in-depth story of why they failed their math class.
Probably.
Why
He
is
was
this
too
doing
busy
that?
counting his thigh holes. Not enough time studying for his math quiz. And he failed because of aliens.
Aliens. So the math had no meaning to me, and I couldn't figure out simple equations. I went to an advanced school and had been learning algebra and geometry and was doing great. But then it was like poof, and all my poof, and all my math knowledge and comprehension was gone.
Just like my leg scars.
To this day, I can't even do simple addition problems without double checking them. Could you imagine that? Like, you have a student in your class and they fail math. They're like, hey, you need to pass me because this is what happened. One night I woke up with 4 dots on my thought, and then 3 the next night right above them, and then 2 the next night, and then 1, and they disappeared, and I got dumb.
It's like 4 plus 3 plus 2. I had like 100 holes.
It was 100 holes.
That's why you failed math, dummy.
That's worse than fire ants.
I'd pass them. I mean, that's a hell of a story. I mean, that's probably the essay they submitted to the class. And this is why I failed math, because the aliens.
You just put a bunch of triangles on your final test.
Yeah, probably drew a UFO in the corner. All right, well, cool. So that's math aliens. All right, so this one, back to basements, is the Doll's Last Supper.
Oh.
So there's a restaurant and bar in Phoenix, Arizona called Hanny's, and they offer up tasty late-night food options and spirits, though not just of the alcoholic variety. Apparently, it was set up by the establishment's owners, the scene of placid dolls arranged in a way not unlike depictions of the Last Supper. It serves as a horrifying discovery for patrons venturing down into the basement. Go eat dinner with a freaking
they got
doll room.
Jesus doll and Mary Magdalene.
Yeah, they arranged it like the last. Yeah. Can you eat breakfast next to that? I wouldn't care. I don't like dolls that much, but
they're all right. I wouldn't buy them. They're kind of creepy.
I'm going to buy one and just hide it in your house somewhere. Yeah. And you're going to find it one day and you're going to shit yourself when you do. You like open up your cabinet to get a cereal. You're like, oh, God.
It reminds me as a kid, and I snuck a walkie-talkie in my sister's closet.
Oh.
So, I'm going to kill you at like 2 a.m.
Wow.
I didn't say that.
I'm going to murder you.
It's like I'm
going to slit your throat at midnight.
I was 10, but I had a deep voice.
Jesus Christ, Clete. I'm going to murder you. Like, anything else you could have said would have been fine.
I was probably making stupid growling noises like whatever 10-year-olds do.
All right, so this one is 1,200 skeletal remains in house.
Hang on, stop. It reminds me of this show where I think they're prank phone calling someone and the person doesn't understand how to do a prank phone call. And they just call someone randomly and they go, I'm going to murder you. And they're like, dude, that's not funny. It's not a prank phone call.
It's like you just called and threatened somebody. I think that's illegal. Like, that's not how you prank call.
I'm sorry, continue.
I was going to ask, like, how do you fuck up a prank call? All right, so this one is 1,200 skeletal remains in house belonging to Benjamin Franklin?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Really? I have not.
People think you might be a serial killer.
Oh. A home on Craven Street in London was discovered to have a mass grave of over 1,200 skeletal remains, both human and animal in nature, beneath the soil of its basement. They all dated back roughly to 1757 to 1775, which is exactly the time frame with which notable American founding father Benjamin Franklin lived. But this discovery did not reveal Franklin as the secret serial killer, rather that his home was used by William Hewson as a secret anatomy school. So, not as cool as you had made it sound.
Could be the perfect cover.
So at this time, dissecting corpses, even for medical study, was illegal. So Franklin would allow his friend Houston to use the basement as a literal underground medical classroom where the students could learn without fear of repercussions. That would be such a crazy twist if Ben Franklin was a murderer.
It would be cool.
Didn't he have like 600 wives?
Yeah, wasn't Lincoln a vampire slayer too?
Yeah, dude, legit.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
That was actually a pretty good movie. I enjoyed that one. It was kind of cheesy, but, you know, some of the best movies are. Okay. Evidence of satanic rituals. See, this is one of the ones that you might not want to find down there.
Yeah, you know. I mean, okay.
You walked in and like, cool.
I might go down there and be like, Hail Santa.
You, like, frame the pentagram on your wall. So, obviously, the possibility of a hoax is high on this one, but Imager user Bushi992 would discover what appeared to be evidence of satanic rituals and activity in both the basement and attic of his home. He claims that the realtor didn't show him either space before moving in. He's like, hey, check out all this. You can't go up there. You can't go down there either. But they're really badass. You ready to sign? I mean, today, people would buy it sight unseen for 30% above market price.
That's kind of hilarious.
That would be great. Can I see the basement? I'm really into basements. No.
We don't have the key right now. It's not
All
even
right.
locked. Just stop.
The door's open. Just
You can
shut
look
up.
at it when you buy it.
Do you want to buy this house or not? Because if you do, don't go down there. Shut up. So, quite the misstep indeed, but at least it made for a creepy series of photos. Oh, they don't have the photos on here. God damn it. Now I'm questioning the authenticity. All right, let's jump back to some aliens.
All right. Alien Story 3. My fiancé, boyfriend at the time, had just gotten home from work. He went into our kitchen, and I walked through the bedroom and into the bathroom and just stopped for a moment. I had a weird feeling. I still can't really put a name to it, so I called him and asked him to come here. I walked out of the bedroom, and as soon as we came within view of each other, that was it. The next thing we knew, we were both waking up, laying side by side on our bed, flat on our backs.
What the hell?
That's kind of weird. What'd you do if that happened to you, man?
I have no idea. Like, you just remember, like, your wife's like, hey, come here, and you walk over there, and then you're in bed.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, did you have that dream too?
Yeah.
All right, good night.
And you're on top of the blankets and still wearing fully dressed down to your shoes. It's like,
What the fuck?
what the heck happened? Maybe a gas
They're
leak.
in, like, a suit and a top hat.
They weren't wearing the same clothes
It's like,
before.
it's not even, I don't even know these clothes.
Why are you wearing a Hawaiian shirt?
Are you holding a Big Mac?
Is that a Twizzlers t-shirt?
Is that the Kool-Aid Man?
Oh yeah.
What a twist. We just wrote an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Right? 3 hours had gone by. It was so odd and disorienting, and though we both just came to, we were extremely tired. We joked about the lost time at first, but the more we thought about it, the more weirded out we became about the whole ordeal. This isn't proof or anything, but I've never been able to think of anything else it could have been. So they're assuming it's aliens.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, think about it. I mean, what logically could happen other than, like, sheer exhaustion?
Gas
or...
leak.
Okay, yeah, a gas leak could do it because that freaks me out, actually, sometimes, the gas leak. Like, the alarms don't work and, I don't know, stuff like that. But, I mean, other than that, there's really not a whole lot that you just lose time.
Yeah, I only lose time when I sleep.
Man, I lost a whole 8 hours last night. I don't remember it. Yeah, you slept. What the fuck?
Like,
Is that what that is?
I think aliens have been visiting me every night of my life.
Every
Wait,
single
what,
night?
Really? Yeah, I lay there, and I feel really weird. Like I don't have a lot of energy, and I wake up, and it's morning time.
It's so, like 10 o'clock every night. I lay down. I'm like, I'm tired. I yawn, and then my alarm goes off. I don't get it.
I wake up
lost
sometimes
time.
in the middle of the night and shout Jesus' name, and my neighbors, the apartment downstairs, they get mad and call me crazy.
I don't know where you're going with that story. Anyway.
Touchdown!
I was going to say, I want to hear where this story goes. Next up, we're playing softball in the backyard with a Frisbee. How the fuck does that work?
I met this guy in a boxcar who said he lost 2 years of his life because of something.
I stole a cat.
I think he got burnt by something.
Okay, back to basement stuff. This one is a mysterious woman. You found a mysterious woman in the basement. It's like, what's down there, honey? It's some old lady. I don't understand. Bruce Wilkerson, the mayor of Bowling Green, Kentucky, would discover the evidence of a woman staying at one of his properties in April 2020. Man, this was last year. Like a year ago. Wilkerson told WKNY-TV that he, quote, heard noises and smelled cigarette smoke. I found a lady down there smoking her heart out, and later found blood on his cellar door with a bag of women's clothing in the basement. Wilkerson did not see anyone on his first investigation, but would later check with the police to find out if any women had been reporting missing. They had not. It was not until he actually went into the basement himself a second time that the mayor encountered the woman whom he described was in her 20s with long brunette hair. The woman reportedly told the mayor she was hiding from somebody, but then fled the basement running into the street. Wilkerson said he didn't know how long the woman was living down there, but she did not steal anything and he would not press charges.
That's just your average squatter story.
Yeah, but I mean, where's all the blood coming from?
I want to know how much blood.
It's like a drop. He's like,
Gallons of blood?
He's had a bloody nose, that's all. A hidden chapel. Oh, damn.
There's a church in my basement.
I knew I felt holy when I walked into this place. In September 2010, Pat and Diana Farla of Telford, Shropshire in England discovered a chapel that had been hidden beneath their home that was believed to date back to the 1700s. That's awesome. The discovery would come after the couple, having imbibed a local Good Friday cheer, decided to finally find out where the metal grate near the front of their door led. It's possible that the chapel served as a place of worship for persecuted Catholics.
That's like begging you to start your own religion.
You have to.
Yeah. Or
Like,
casino.
absolutely.
Or casino.
Or bar.
Just throw out the
A
pews.
speakeasy.
It's either got to be good or bad.
See, a speakeasy would be really cool.
Yeah. I love me speakeasies.
Then you, like, make moonshine out of the toilets.
Oh, yeah. Prison wine.
Yeah, prison wine. You want to check out my...
There's like 30 toilets down here in one room.
Every room's a bathroom if you try hard enough. All right.
House has 30 bathrooms and 2 bedrooms.
2 bedrooms. A bedroom and a half. That's a hell of a listing. What's wrong with this house? 30 bathrooms and a bed and a half. What? Well, people really had to pee. A 200-pound alligator? Jesus Christ. It's like that movie Crawl. Did you watch that
Florida?
one?
Florida? No, I haven't seen Crawl.
That's a good one. You should watch it. So a man in Lansing, Michigan apparently kept a 6-foot, 200-pound pet alligator in his basement for over 20 years.
Oh my God.
I mean, I have 4 dogs. I think that's good. A 200-pound alligator. This gator was discovered in January of 2016 by a local repairman who immediately notified animal control. Went down there to fix a leak, and there's a huge fucking alligator.
You didn't mention there's an alligator down here?
He's like, yeah, it's down in that basement.
He's probably feeding people.
Is there anything down there? Nope.
Nope.
Oh, you're good. Just go on down
See
there.
you later.
Don't mind me locking the door behind you. Oh, my God. So I'm going to lock the door behind you just to keep the draft from coming in. Apparently, the man kept his pet a total secret and would only occasionally take the animal into his backyard. Sadly, the animal was confined to a cage for most of its life.
It's too bad.
All right. Back to aliens.
Alien story number 4. I was about 8 or 9, and my mom tells me we are going on a day trip to meet her high school friend. This is how marriages break up.
We're going to go see my friend from high school. He's hot. I mean, he's a nice guy.
Cool. I grab my Game Boy.
Cool. Let's do it.
Okay.
Dad sucks.
Homewrecker. I grabbed my Game Boy Advance because I know my mom's friend has kids my age and wanted to show them up in the racing game I had. Classic kid thing.
You kids go downstairs and play race cars. We're going to go up and play some Uno.
No, it's like, I got all the new stuff. Your family's poor.
Check out this. It's HD surround sound.
For a Game Boy Advance. I overheard this from my mom talking with her friend at her house. They told me to leave the room because they needed to talk about adult things.
Oh, God.
You gotta listen to that. As a kid, you want to know what adults are doing.
Not all the time.
Yeah. Little, innocent, curious me wonders what exactly are adult things.
I just heard a bunch of squeaking.
They're like wrestling. Were they going to throw some new juicy cuss words out?
They just sit there and swear the whole time.
Fuck, bitch.
Fuckity fuck.
God damn, right?
Son of a bitch. Haha. The kids are just sitting there giggling.
That's amazing.
Man, that's a juicy cuss word.
Well, Mom's friend had a little girl who would sleepwalk at night. Started when they moved to their new house in Northern California. It was a suburban area, but not too suburban. New neighborhood with a lot of empty homes and forest patches in between each community. She was about 4 years old, and they found her one night in the backyard, just sitting there. After that incident, they decided they needed to lock her in her room at night and bar up her windows. Yeah, it seems aggressive.
Yeah, that's a little extreme.
So that she doesn't end up in the woods nearby or anywhere besides her room, really. I think it makes sense if it's all wooded outside. You don't want like a predator or something.
Yeah, but I mean, you can have there's cameras and stuff. I mean, I guess if this is Game Boy advanced times. Maybe they don't have those fancy cameras and
I
stuff.
guess you could just get chains and chain them to like the bed or something.
Put a leash on. One of those retractable leashes
Put an electrical like fence around.
with the collar.
Yeah.
Too far. Bzz.
So let's go to the story. Mom's friend and husband wake up to a loud boom on the side of the house in the middle of the next night. Felt like something hit the house because everything shook. They check on their boys. They're good. They check on their daughter, unlock the door, and realize she isn't in her room. They start to freak out and then hear a knock at the door. They open it, and it's the effing sleepwalking 4-year-old daughter. So they did swear.
It's my fucking sleepwalking daughter.
They ask her where she's been, and she said, with the men, and point down the street.
Oh,
so what would you
no.
do, Britton?
I'd grab my gun and I'd be settling the score. My daughter comes and says, hey, I was with those guys down the street. Nope.
At like 2 a.m.
Nope.
So, pissed off dad sees 2 guys in coats walking down the street. He yells at them and starts sprinting at them. Mom's friends said coat guys didn't react at all.
Coat guys.
Coat guys turn the corner, dad turns the corner, and they're gone. Mom and dad check the lock and windows. No tampering. They notify the police, who pretty much say there's nothing much they can do, but will keep an eye out. Effing sleepwalking 4-year-old daughter is fine. Isn't scared at all. Just tired and goes back to bed. After that, my mom didn't understand why I was scared as hell that night.
Why are you so scared?
You think someone's going to like kidnap you, some coat people?
No, not you.
She believes she was abducted, but refuses to tell me what happened. Even my dad tells me that he can't tell me the story. Says it's for my mom to share if she wants it shared. But overhearing this when I wasn't supposed to hear it had me tripped out as a kid.
So this one's actually pretty crazy. This is a spooky well found in the basement.
Oh, what's in the well?
Why?
It was a blood well.
Beer. So it's difficult to find an exact city for this story, which might lead you to believe that it might be a hoax. Nonetheless, it was reported sometime in July of 2015 that a man would discover a creepy old well beneath the metal door in his basement.
Well.
There were some comparisons made to The Ring and Silence of the Lamb. It puts the lotion in the basket. As were cryptic statements like, the man had no idea where the well led, despite the fact that it was only purported to be 7 or 8 feet deep.
How would he not know where it goes?
I mean, it's only 7 or 8 feet deep.
You just gotta throw somebody in there, and they can tell you.
I mean, I'm 6
Call
feet.
yourself
It's only
Buffalo
2
Bill.
feet taller than I am. Like,
Yeah, just call yourself Buffalo Bill and throw somebody in there. They'll tell you what's in there. And if you get mad, just tell them to put lotion on.
would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. That movie is so insane. Meaning the mysterious homeowner in question could easily see the bottom of the structure with the flashlight. So there's plenty of this story that might just be BS, but it's a fun little internet story nonetheless. But I mean, a spooky well would be kind of crazy in the basement. I just use it as a toilet.
I'd throw change in there and make wishes.
Just like full of pennies. How many of them wishes came true, Cleet? Not a damn
None. I'm so sad.
Quit making a wish and save your money. I mean, I guess you are saving and it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's my well
fish
bank.
it back out. 29 rabbits. It's oddly specific. Probably bred that in 2 days.
Yeah, there was only 2 the day before.
The story could have had a far worse ending than it does, but it is still no less unnerving. A home in Saukville, Wisconsin had 29 rabbits living in cages in the basement. The animals were discovered in January 2016, and sadly 1 rabbit had perished. The others had been rescued in the nick of time. The rabbits were of adequate weight, although they had been left without food and suffered a lot of hair loss due to the dark environment. Investigators looked into the matter at the time of the incident, though there was little hope of finding the person responsible for this abuse. The rabbits eventually became adoptable.
Aw,
That's a good sign.
what a happy ending.
Oh god, this one's insane. A World War II German Panzer tank?
In a basement?
A whole fucking tank in
They
your
couldn't
basement?
move it, so they built around it.
It's out of gas. Fuck it. Build a house around it. In July 2015, a man in the wealthy German suburb of Heikendorf was found to possess a decommissioned World War II era Panzer tank. which had been stowed away in his basement. He also possessed a cannon and torpedo, and apparently an avid collector of World War II arms. The tank was well known in the town, and the mayor reported the man was chugging around in that thing during the snow catastrophe in 1978.
He's driving it?
The guy before.
Oh, man.
The question is this. How the hell did he get the tank in the basement? So that's it.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I was thinking.
Question, is this creepy? No.
No,
it's not. A tank.
It's not at all. It was a creepy tank. People got weird feelings.
It had 666 written on the side. It was spooky.
It was real spooky.
So those are the scariest things in basements. I honestly thought it'd be a little creepier, but, still nonetheless. All right. So aliens in basements, 2 really creepy things in life.
Aliens in the shower wasn't me. Okay, sorry, what'd you say?
I said 2 of the craziest things in life. But
scary basements and aliens.
Sometimes I was hoping that someone would find an alien in their basement just to bring it full circle.
That would have been really cool.
Thought we were going to end with something like that. But if you have had anything in your basement that you want to share, send it to us at entertheabysspod@gmail.com. Or if you just have a story or topic you want us to cover, we're running... we still have a lot of viewer submissions to go through, so send us your submissions.
If you're watching us on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for entering the abyss.
Until next time.